Now, did you know that Kenya's online gig economy is valued at 11 billion shillings and employs about 36,600 workers? And in 5 years, it's pitted to grow by around 33% annually to $345 million, that is 35 billion Kenya shillings, employing close to 100,000 workers. And these numbers, the government is quite cognizant of these, and they have introduced quite a number of programs to ensure that the sector is streamlined and is tapping the opportunities for the young people. To discuss this is ICT CAS, the Chief Administrative Secretary, who is Maureen Mbaka. Welcome on set.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Right. Now, I've just read out those numbers. What do they mean to the government now in terms of the digital economy?
Thank you for that. Well, when it comes to the numbers that you've read, it really encapsulates what the future of work is all about. And just as you have said, the government has recognized this and has in place very many programs to, harness this reality of today and where the future of work is going to. So in place at the Ministry of ICT, we have the government initiative driven by our ministry known as the Ajira digital program, which is a program in place to empower the youth to take up the digital and digitally enabled job opportunities at this time.
And how is that exactly supposed to be done?
Thank you. Well, the Ajira digital program, it's designed in a way to have components. It has components that really address any barriers that may be in place that hinder the youth from accessing these online job opportunities. So some of the components are provision of infrastructure and provision of training on the gig economy and the freelancing economy.
And how many young people is this program targeting, and by when would you have achieved this goal?
Okay, well, the Ajira digital program has a vision and a mission. And the mission is to have at least 1 million young people annually earning from digital and digitally enabled jobs. And also really to have Kenya as established as the leading freelancing hub by 2022.
Right. Okay, and Kenya, of course, is at a better place compared to quite a number of countries worldwide. Mobile penetration, internet, as well as smartphone penetration is quite high, and that just puts the workforce at a better place to access these opportunities. Are these opportunities available for those who are job ready?
Well, thank you very much. Well, when it comes to the job opportunities, of course, they are online. And really, the program seeks to create awareness around this program, around these job opportunities, so that the youth can take advantage of them. And one of the components, as I mentioned, of Ajira program is creation of awareness around this. So one of our mottos is actually that the future works online. So we have on our platform, the ajiradigital.go.ke, we provide the links to the platforms where young people can access these opportunities.
And if someone wants to get involved, how can they now access these opportunities? The young people who are watching.
Well, I would urge all the young people to go onto our platform, the ajiradigital.go.ke, where we provide information. Currently, we are providing virtual trainings where one can register. It's completely free. One can register and have access to information and our trainings on how really to harness the gig economy. So we have different classes going on at this time on the various sectors. You can call them sectors of the digital economy, such as data entry, translation, transcription classes. So one can go onto the website ajiradigital.go.ke and register now to take part in the classes.
Right. You find that in Kenya, the corporate sector as well as the SMEs, which are virtually the largest employers in the country, they are yet to adopt online working as a form of, employing. So how is the government working, say, with the private sector to ensure that these numbers go up?
Well, the Ajira program, since inception, we've actually had very many partners. We've worked with various partners, both in the private and the public sector, to not only create awareness, as I've stated. We have we've also created, creating awareness around this area of online work, so that we can connect both the industries that would require these skills, and the young people who are willing to give these skills. So we work with our partners. We have worked with, for instance, Immobilis, who provide trainings to the young people who register on our program. And we've also worked with the Kenya Private Sector Alliance to create more awareness in the private sector so that the industry can place these jobs online.
And so far, do you have any numbers on how many people this program has been able to reach?
Yes, actually we do have surveys that we carry out so that we can keep an eye on our impact on the ecosystem that has this both the demand side and the supply side. So in 2019 we carried out our survey, and around 600,000 young people were actually taking advantage of the opportunities online. And we also had around 2 million young people aware of the Ajira program and the opportunities that it brings. And when we carried out the survey this year, we actually found that up to 650,000 were working online, were aware of the opportunities online, and 5.5 million were aware of the Ajira digital program.
That is quite some numbers. Now, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic has undoubtedly moved most companies to approach the online work differently. How has the COVID-19 pandemic now impacted the program, and what do you think will be the impact moving forward?
Well, of course, the pandemic has come and it has really disrupted or, forced us to relook at the design of how we were engaging all the young people who are coming to the program. Prior to the pandemic, our engagements were mostly physical at the, at the youth empowerment centers, Ajira youth empowerment centers, how we conducted our trainings, provision of infrastructure for young people to access these online opportunities was all physical. But at the onset of the pandemic, we quickly adapted and redesigned our program. And since then, we've actually brought on more personnel. We have, with our partners, we've brought on trainers and center managers virtually, of course. We inducted them and trained them virtually. We've also set in place, of course, as I've mentioned, our virtual training programs. So we've actually taken our trainings virtual, and they can be accessed by all Kenyans by Zoom. Right. Other than that, we provide, together with our partners, we've provided self-learning material so that even at home, one can continue to upskill and continuously learn and prepare for the future of work.
And most of the online economy or online gig economy happens in the urban areas. What is your ministry doing to ensure that even the devolved units now, the other counties, and even the rural areas in those counties are reached by this economy?
Thanks, Betty. Well, when it comes to, I have actually mentioned our working with partners since the onset of the program. So other than the private sector, we have worked with the public sector. That includes counties and constituencies. And really to enable us reach, the Ajira program is countrywide. So I've mentioned the Ajira Youth Empowerment Centers, which are actually set up at constituency levels. So there are various established youth empowerment centers in various constituencies across the country where young people can access the infrastructure and free internet so that they can be able to access the online opportunities.
Right. And how can government institutions and maybe even the private sector be involved in this or support the ministry further in this engagement?
Well, all this comes back to, as I've stated, the future of work and preparing for the future of work.
Right.
So what we would require from all stakeholders, both private sector, public sector, the citizens, and all young people who are seeking to take, take these opportunities right before them, is a change in mindset. Prepare for the future of work, which is really characterized by ability, not really ability, but willingness to continuously learn, to continuously upskill, so that you can be able to harness these opportunities. Willingness to work with machines, work with computers, so that you have at least the basic skills to work online. And when it comes to now the industry side, both the private and public sector, is to, again, adapt to the changing way that the work environment is changing, and, have their their work, break down work into skills, into smaller sets, and have them online so that the online workers can provide their skills.
And mentioning these skills, of course, apart from being tech savvy, so to say, that you have to have the skills for the job. Do you think that the Kenyan market is ready?
Well, when we look at the Kenyan market, average age for Kenya actually is 19. So most of the people are young people. They are young people who have an affinity for, I would say, an affinity for technology. So yes, we are very well placed to take up these skills and also provide these services not only within our country but to the whole world.
Right, and that definitely means exporting this talent, right?
True.
All right. So what is the future now? The way forward for this program?
Well, at the moment, as we are continuously, of course, providing our virtual teachings, trainings and mentorship online. Other than that, we are, of course, looking at the protocols, in line with the safety protocols in place with the Ministry of Health to reopen our Ajira Youth Empowerment Centers safely so that young people can be able to access the provided, devices and internet so that they can continue to access these opportunities and our trainings online. Other than that, of course, we, as I've mentioned, the youth empowerment centers, they are across the countries, but of course we are looking to be in every ward. So we are looking, of course, to scaling up all those, having more youth empowerment centers where the youth can access these jobs.
And with the high unemployment rate in this country, do you think that this is the solution?
Well, I've stated that it's one of the government initiatives in place.
Right.
Of course, there are many other initiatives in place. This one is to prepare the young people of the country for the future of work. And as we've seen, even with the pandemic, it has expedited our, our move towards the future of work. So it's really one of the initiatives that is in place that we encourage the youth to take up.
Right. So, Madam Maureen Mbaka, what are your closing remarks in this conversation?
My closing remarks would really be to all the young people out there. I mean, as a young person myself, sitting at the Ministry of ICT as the CAS, I would urge you to prepare for the future of work. Not only is it coming very fast, it's basically here, brought on really by this pandemic. So prepare for the future of work, and it does not matter what your vocation is. When I talk of digital and digitally enabled jobs, I'm not only talking to the, tech, they're called the techies. We're not only talking to the techies. You could be, to your mkono, you could be a plumber, you could be a tailor. Be ready to put your work online so that it can be more accessible to people. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. Well, you've heard it, that the future is here, and it is time that you take advantage of those opportunities the digital world offers. It's only going to grow bigger and better. Thank you very much, Maureen Mbaka, the ICT CAS, for gracing our studios. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.